my name's Irene Takahashi Coker. I go by Irene Shiori on Instagram. I'm a multidisciplinary artist that works with anything from tattooing to sign paint, spray paint, glass engraving, and I'm learning car paint. And I'm just applying it to any style, so any other medium that works with it, I'll touch as well. I've been tattooing for 12 years, sign painting for approximately 4 to 5 years, and then I've been learning car painting for maybe the last 3+ years. So I started drawing for friends for different images like on their binders. I started getting into lettering and drawing that way. Because of like the lowrider magazines, I thought to myself like I wanted to paint cars and be in the magazines as a car painter. But when I was 16, I went into a tattoo shop with my high school sweetheart's older brother and him. And I think from right then and there, getting to see all of the imagery on the wall, it summarized or kind of encompassed everything I wanted to do, whether it was the portraits, the girls, the lettering, even like the music they were listening to and everything like that. That's when I decided I wanted to be a tattoo artist. And so that journey started for me, where I was asking around for an apprenticeship or showing people my work and then getting the advice to build up my portfolio. So it didn't happen until 6 years later, but when I was 16, basically, I fell in love with tattooing. When I was younger, I feel like there was a couple key moments where I can really recognize that whatever I was looking at, whether it was like a woman's high heel shoe or like an animal or a bird in a restaurant, like as decoration, I was able to copy the image as it looks like a little kid's drawing, but I was able to copy the image to where I got at least a little bit of a high from it. And then my family just like kind of further encouraged me, or I took some classes in community college at Chabot in Hayward, and the teacher I was under, Miss Galayu, was very strict, and her class was even called Scientific Realism, which was encyclopedia level of accuracy, and every freckle on an apple had to be in its place, and if it was hair, like the Chicano hair where like it's kind of sculpted and molded, she would kind of talk about it negatively, but it would just like be like the wisps and stuff like coming off is like what she was looking for. So like literally in the accurate, realistic form. So I think that's where I got better at drawing portraits and like including the wrinkles or including like the certain little touches. And then maybe as like my style has developed towards tattooing, if I do the kind of more sculpted hair, I'll still have a little wisp or like a lifelike touch to it, or things like that, just to have a real representation. And I'm also trying to get better at representing Black and brown women in our actual like facial features, so keeping the noses a little bit more realistic by like including the nose ridges or things like that, and trying not to lean towards this so like Eurocentric way that we see, like where it's basically just a white girl dressed up in a sombrero and all of the attire, and just creating the more realistic, in a sense, cultural representation. When I come into a medium that, let's say this one in particular, is a little bit more male dominated, just like a lot of the other mediums that I dabble in or careers that I'm a part of, if it sways really heavy on the masculine side or the kind of like over-sexualized women side, then I'm always looking for how can I balance that, I also like believe in like leading with your strength. Since I'm an emotional person and very soft person, I don't come from a super hard background. I want to come with a genuine approach, and my impression of lowrider culture is the resiliency and creativity that car owners and enthusiasts create, using bold statements with their paint jobs and builds. It's having pride in your ride and polishing something that may have even once been forgotten, and taking really good care of this beautifully sculpted piece, no matter what stage it's at in its build. Through my art and the attempt to change any kind of narrative, I want to represent, maybe who I am as a soft person, as a super emotional person, and kind of putting that in there, and creating, a different representation maybe in that sense. I think I'm also learning to not only include facial features, but I want to even start having maybe like fuller figured women and just getting better at drawing those types of body shapes that where I can even see myself in this image or in this artwork. I also have just been told from one of my old coworkers, Chamuco, that when I am drawing somebody and he kind of recognizes the soul or the essence of that woman and somebody he's known, he's excited and telling me that it's almost re-documenting the woman back into the era that, we weren't being documented in, and how that essentially like kind of creates a medicine, or that whole idea of like creating a balance, like where this thing was missing and now we're kind of replacing it back into it. I think for me, feminism is a way that I've been practicing homegirl love, this like platonic but also very soft way to handle each other. Basically my approach and basically lived practice of holding my homegirls in the same way through, life lessons, or even like outside politics and social issues going on, and just kind of creating space with each other in that way, and being open to each other in whatever state that is and whatever place that is, and still kind of like loving each other through it, I think has been one of the ways that I have been able to live feminism versus just believing in it or reciting different things.